Hey guys, it's a Southern Sunflower here with the Sunflower series. And this is my fifth episode that I'm doing. So, with this episode, I kind of just want to focus on one thing this time. But first, I want to say dwell in power to Nipsey Hussle. Um, I actually have been I don't know, really thinking about him and what he did with his time here on earth this week. His celebration of life was this week. So it's just I don't know, like a lot of people right now, I have been thinking about Nipsey Hussle a lot, especially because his death was just so untimely. And if you've been watching, you know some of my beliefs and things like that. And one of the things that I always thought was that I always believed that everything happens at the right time, and when a person goes, it's their time. But I don't know. Right now, with his situation, I kind of feel like it wasn't his time, and maybe that's why I feel like his death is so powerful, and why so many people are affected by it. Because he definitely was a great man, a man who just seemed to be very, I don't know, something about him. But yeah, so dwell in power to Nipsey Hussle. So I watched a video on YouTube a while back. This guy, Dr. Lipton, he was basically talking about how between when you're born and the age of 6, that's when your mindset is pretty much how it will be for the rest of your life. So I think he referred to him as the programming stage or something like that. But basically what he was explaining is that in those first 7 years of your life, that's pretty much when we are programmed. When we're programmed to feel like we can't go out and get rich, or just programmed to, I think in a way, be scared and to be discouraged from going out and going after that purpose and going after whatever you feel like fulfills you. That's what I really think it is. And it's, some mental programming that a lot of people have. And he was just talking about how it's basically almost irreversible. However, it can be reversed for those people who actually work to change their thinking. I definitely think that that's true. But as I was watching the documentary, at the time, I just thought of that on a very basic level, and I never really, I guess I never understood that exactly. But I see some blacks who are, I guess, self-described as woke or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll see them bashing those who they think are asleep, and aggressively trying to force others to believe what they believe. And when I went back and I thought about that documentary, I was just wow, so I don't need to look at a person as, oh, they're choosing to be ignorant, or they want to be like this, they just want to be like this, they don't want to change or anything like that, because it's very strong programming and it's hard to break it. So you can't really be mad at those who are not where you are consciously or spiritually. You can't be mad at that. And I definitely think the aggressive, you have to believe what I believe attitude pretty much gets people nowhere and actually makes people not want to listen. And I say that because that's the reason why most woke black people don't like church people. It's because they do that exact same thing. I also see a lot of vegans do it too, and I hate it. It's very annoying. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, okay, you may believe this, but don't keep like aggressively pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing your viewpoint on a person, because it's going to make them want to just like turn away even more. It's not going to want to make them interested. It's not going to make that person feel welcomed and feel like they'll be accepted or anything like that. And I just hate to see when it's like blacks who are doing that to each other, because it's like, yeah, you may have broken that mental chain and things of that nature, but I really do believe that when it comes to stuff like that, you get more flies, or is it more bees? Woo, you get more bees with honey. Wait, you get more bees with honey than bees with vinegar? Anyway, you get more people by just being accepting, non-judgmental, like saying things through regular conversation, than that I have to be aggressive. I gotta let them know what I believe right now. I gotta let them know why they're wrong. And I actually had to check myself when I first started like breaking away from religion and changing my diet and stuff like that, because I mean, I can be pretty aggressive sometimes, like with my language. I can, and I have to be aware of that. I try to be aware of that because it's not, it comes off as aggressive, but for me, it was enthusiasm almost. But it comes off as aggressive, so I just had to watch that. And I also had to change my thinking, because I used to think, oh, like, well, I'm this and I have this and I've changed my diet and I'm working hard and look at me and they're not doing nothing. I had to stop thinking like that. And I thought like that for probably like the first maybe 5 months of me really getting into spirituality and stuff like that. And I just kind of looked at myself and I was like, I hate people that act the way that I'm acting right now. Why am I acting like that? So I stopped acting like that. But I just wish more people would do that, because it literally gets you nowhere, and it makes people not like other people that are within that same group in a way. Because I know people who hate vegans. They hate all vegans because of the way that some of them act. So I don't know. And I get that too. Like, people around me will be like, I feel bad for eating this meat in front of you. And I'm like, listen, tell you what I tell you, what I know about nutrition and how to treat the body. But if you want to eat that, like, I'm not about to be like, oh my gosh, don't eat that around me, and I'm not about to do that. Like, what I'm gonna do that for? It's gonna chase the person off. I've gotten way more people interested in the vegan lifestyle through them just being around me, and through me just naturally just eating certain foods around them, or just, I don't know, posting certain dishes on my Instagram, or just through, I don't know, through them bringing it up first, and then me just elaborating on what they learned or what they read somewhere, something like that. I have gotten absolutely 0 people to ask me about my vegan lifestyle while being like, ugh, you shouldn't eat that and this and that and blah blah blah, and ugh, how do you do that? Like, I don't know. For some people that might work for them, but for me personally, it wouldn't even work for me if somebody was trying to get me like that. So I just wish, like, I don't know, I wish that it wouldn't be viewed as, oh, they just so ignorant, it ain't never gonna change. Because for a majority of us, our parents were not like we are right now. So we were not raised in this lifestyle. So we were raised that same way. And we had to break out of it ourselves. We were in that same state at one point in time. So it's just like, I mean, I went vegan in October of 2016 and locked my hair in October of 2016. So that was when I really started getting onto like a spiritual path. And that was 2016. I was born in the 90s. So it's like I went all that time eating meat, all that time going to church, all that time doing all that stuff. And I just decided to break out of it after learning. So it's like I can't judge somebody who did the exact same thing that I did, or who is doing that exact same thing. I'm still around my friends that do stuff that I don't do. I'm still around my friends who may not necessarily believe like I believe. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I don't disrespect them and they don't disrespect me. So, and when I say around the friends who do stuff that I don't do, now, hold on, pause, side note. So with that, there is nothing wrong with having diversity within your circle, right? But there is something wrong with having people who bring negativity into your circle. So just because, you want to be balanced and want to still keep in touch with friends who may not believe the same as you and different stuff like that, do not sacrifice your peace. Don't put up with no negative energy. Don't put up with the energy drainers or anything like that. Because like me and my friends, we walk different walks of life, yet we are all focused on fulfilling our purpose. So it's like not like, oh yeah, I fool with people who out here doing craziness and causing drama and always coming to me with mess. No, not that. So yeah, back to that. So yeah, like my circle is very diverse. Like I don't judge people. It's just something that I try not to do because I don't want nobody judging me. Because when you start to judge people, that's when it becomes really, really easy for you to misunderstand another individual. And I think that being misunderstood is like, it's not a good feeling. So I try not to be like that with others. I just want some of the conscious folks out here to really realize that we are all like students. We all have that student teacher role. Yeah, we can be a teacher to some, but at the end of the day, we are still students. So we are all still learning. And if you think that you know all that there is to know, then you absolutely are completely lost. Because, I mean, it's really true. Like, the person who is the wisest knows that they know nothing at all. Because there's so much to know. There's things that I know. There's things that I know that I do not know about. But there's also things that I don't know about that I don't even know exist. So it's like, there's always more to learn. There's always more to take in. There's also always more to teach. But we're still always students. So you can't really condemn somebody for doing the exact same thing that you did beforehand. You can teach them and you can expose them to something different. But you can't force anybody to do anything. And you definitely won't impact people and be as accepted if you're drilling and forcing things down people's throats and telling them that they're stupid and that they're ignorant and making people feel low. Because if you really woke, then you know you shouldn't be doing that anyway. That's my whole video for today, y'all. And like I said, dwell in power to Nipsey Hussle. And I hope everybody out there is good. Everybody's doing great. Peace, love, and hair grease.